Namaskaram. I'm extremely happy to be able to have these conversations which have been titled Musical Detours. Le Rhythm de la Parole. We went to Spain, we went to Morocco. It had an intoxication of its own. And the way the audience responded to the Tirupugal and to the way they responded to the particular Bharadiyar song that I sang.
Alors la rencontre avec Sudha, ça aussi été quelque chose de très important pour moi. J'ai eu ce contact de cette...
No, it's like a love song. And the stillness of the night. Again, it was kind of an open auditorium. So we could see the velvet sky. We could see the star-spangled sky. It was like a black carpet. And here, in the audience, they were glittering with their gold purses, with their gold clutches and diamonds. And we on stage, trying to grope and see who was in the audience, who was really listening to us. Were we reaching out to them, or was our music going above their head? But the applause said it all. A 5-minute standing ovation without a break. When there is a loud and strong, long ovation, there is a tradition that we follow to take a bow, to acknowledge the ovation. So we have to stand in a line, hold our hands together. It's like forming a human chain. And then we take a bow. I remember that at Morocco we took several bows, maybe 5 or 6 times. It was certainly a concert that has stayed in my mind, evergreen. When I talk of these concerts, it's not like they happened 2 years back or 3 years back. Stimmen, the Global Vocal Festival, happened in 2000, and Le Rhythm de la Parole was a project that we took on 5 or 6 years down the line. Kevon played a pivotal role in taking Le Rhythm de la Parole forward. I still remember the concerts that we had in Spain, open air concerts again, where you could see, the scene was like as if we were in Ooty, so much of greenery around. You could see castles in the distance. And the audience was seated in formal seating. And I still remember the Hamsanandi Viritam that I sang in Spain.
C'est déjà un souvenir d'enfance parce que...
These are moments where you are extremely touched by your interactions with other musicians. When I delved into these projects, when I took on these projects, I know there were a lot of people, purists, conservatives, traditionalists, who raised the eyebrows and even spoke randomly about why should she get into all this? There is no need for her. She has her place in Carnatic music. I don't think she should be doing these experiments or innovations. But I believe in doing different things. Doing different things with my own music. When I sang in these projects, I sang only Carnatic music. Of course, I might have sung a few chords or harmonies or, like Bibi Nene, a few other languages. But what I really presented was a peep into the world of Carnatic music. I was certainly convinced that these forays, getting into these projects, not only was a learning for me, not only educated me in different things, different aspects of how to use the voice, how to behave with other musicians, how to interact with them. You were living literally in a small community for 10 days or 15 days with these artists. You were able to observe them, watch them, all their vocal practices, their vocal exercises, how they presented themselves on stage. You know, each artist has a way of presenting themselves on stage. How these artists came and met the audience. It was certainly a little degree that I got at the end of these two projects. And I was convinced, when you do something, it's not the fact that what will the world say to it, how will society react to it. That's not the point. You have to be happy, you have to be convinced, and your heart has to say, yes, you're on the right path. And that was precisely what my heart said. Stimmen and Le Rhythm de la Parole, both our groups, did represent this particular show in other festivals, like for example, the Sphinx Festival in Antwerp. It opens up a whole new world of music for us. And I think when we form these groups and when we create a different whole new world of music, we should have support for it. The different consulates that represent different countries in the different cities in India, they could have a look at the information that is available and probably invite these groups. I would have been so happy to bring Global Vocal Meeting or this other group to India, to different cities, at least the cities that are open to listening to innovative music. You know, there are places where audiences really like to listen to something different besides the traditional Hindustani and Carnatic. Hence, it is my plea that I put across through this conversation that maybe Max Miller-Bowen, maybe Alliance Francaise, the other consulates that are here could look at these projects in a broader perspective and invite these larger groups, because this is a group that is large. Maybe corporate heads could come together and invite these projects to India, because I would love for us in this country to really experience those projects. Besides these heads that I have mentioned, I also think that the ICCR, the Indian Council for Cultural Relations, can play a major role in promoting such projects. What do these projects mean for upcoming singers? When I took part, I was maybe between 35 and 45. When these projects started to roll by, I was at a stage where Carnatic music, of course, my roots were there, and I had stabilized. I had the maturity of thinking and expression.
The Rhythm of Speech, I think, is a very, very appropriate title, because first of all, it's connected with music. The project has something to do with music, and I think music, whether it is sung, played, or blown into the flute, everything has a rhythm, a space, interval, a gate. Besides, I think the entire life has a rhythm.
I was able to carry our notes across without diluting our music. It was just juxtaposing, superimposing our music into their music. So upcoming artists would definitely benefit by getting into such projects. You don't have to think twice whether you're doing something right or wrong. You do your music right. That's what matters. Let's meet again for another session of musical detours with something else in mind.